A new report finds there are some concerns when it comes to actually implementing de-streaming grade 9 classes in Ontario. While many argue ending applied classes is necessary, some educators say they simply weren't prepared for the switch.
Very important that we're doing this, but we've got to learn from what happened this year.
The province introduced de-streaming in the current school year after years of evidence showing the policy was unfair to certain groups.
Kids in applied were much more likely to be from low-income families, to be Black, to be Indigenous, or have special education needs, which was never, ostensibly what the purpose was. So it was inequitable and not working, and that's why it was important that it change.
This was the first school year the practice ended for grade 9 math classes. The practice will expand to all grade 9 classes in the upcoming school year. But the executive director of People for Education says there are a lot of issues with how it's being done right now. The concerns were highlighted in a new report which surveyed principals across the province. One GTA principal who took part in the report says few resources for curriculum delivery, plan rolled out with too much of a focus on rationale and too little on curriculum resources to support teachers and students in the classroom.
There needs to be collaboration. So the ministry needs to talk to people on the ground about what it's like to make this work. And we need to make sure there are resources in place. Principals talked about differences in terms of being able to provide smaller class sizes for kids who were, in these de-streamed classes.
The report finds despite evidence that benefits of reduced class sizes are most needed for students who are socially and economically disadvantaged, principals of schools in low-income neighborhoods were much less likely than principals in high-income neighborhoods to report reduced class sizes for de-streamed courses. We reached out to the Ministry of Education for a response, and a spokesperson wrote in part, for the upcoming school year, there will be an investment of over $11 million to support the implementation of de-streamed grade 9. $3 million is to prepare grade 8 students for their transition to grade 9 and support grade 9 students to be successful in the de-streamed grade 9 program and prepare for their transition to grade 10 and the senior program. $8.32 million is to support school boards in implementing early interventions for students with special education needs. Funding may be used to support elementary students with a goal of increasing student engagement, preventing learning gaps, and supporting students to prepare for de-streamed curriculum. People for Education recommend the following to make the situation run more smoothly next year. They say the province needs to consult with students and educators, provide learning supports for de-streaming for schools with diverse needs, and monitor and evaluate the situation frequently. For City News, I'm Maleeha Sheikh.